up, guys? There is this news I heard from ESPN MMA, and I also heard it from the popular Ariel Iwani. I mean, when I heard the story and when I looked at it and watched the interview, I got a little bit worried, shocked. And this is the second time I felt like this. The first time I felt like this was when they were talking about Conor coming back, and Michael Chandler had been waiting for him for over 2 years. And at the end of the day, we didn't get that fight. We didn't actually get that fight. And Chandler has been waiting for 2 years. He couldn't fight. And his next fight was against Charles Oliveira, who has been demolishing people. And unfortunately, he lost the fight. So I watched an interview yesterday, and it was very tough listening to that. I heard that John Jones, pardon me, John Jones wants to wait 6 months before he could fight Thomas Aspinall. 6 months, meaning the contract as it stands right now, it seems to have been signed. The contract for him to fight Thomas Aspinall seemed to have been signed. And we have been waiting for this fight for a long time. Not just with the UFC fans, the MMA fans, and of course Thomas Aspinall. So Thomas Aspinall the other day came out on his own podcast, on his own interview, on his own channel, and said he's just waiting for John Jones. And even if John Jones didn't show up, he is going to fight someone else, as long as it is for the unified UFC heavyweight title, which happened to be in the hands of John Jones. And we all know what John Jones thought about fighting Thomas Aspinall after his fight against Stipe Miocic. Said he's not going to fight that guy. That before he fight that guy, he needs an FU money to fight Thomas Aspinall. So we listened to an interview yesterday, and John Jones came out and said he has to wait. He wants to wait for 6 months before he fights Thomas Aspinall. That means 6 months prior to the time he signed the deal. Where does that leave us? John Jones, we all know, is the greatest of all time. I mean, his accolades are there. And for you to fight, for you to be the greatest, you have to fight the greatest. And I understand why Tom is kind of pissed off. So after this interview, it didn't sit well with Thomas Aspinall's camp. It didn't sit well with Thomas Aspinall's camp. The father came out the other day and said John Jones should vacate the title. We all were talking about Ilia Topuria vacating his title to go up to lightweight division to fight the champion, Islam Makhachev. And people were criticizing him. Why do you leave your title? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Him doing that alone shows how competitive he is, how mindful he is, knowing fully well that he doesn't have to keep his division waiting if he doesn't want to fight anyone in the division, in his own division where he was champion. He left his belt and went to the division where he wants to fight the actual champion. So I could understand where Thomas Aspinall's camp are thinking at the moment, most especially his father. This is a dream of this guy. This guy has been, if you look at Thomas Aspinall's fight throughout his way, he has been thinking and dreaming of becoming the UFC heavyweight champion. But his dream is being delayed. And we all know what John Jones is actually going to get. John Jones doesn't win fights just by presenting himself in the fight night. John Jones wins fight strategically, study his opponent, make his opponent lose hope, and he goes there and finish the fight. And this is what to do when you are a warrior. You don't go into a fight because of the fight has been presented to you. You just go in there and fight. Maybe your opponent has a strategic plan, a backup. You come, you study, and you attack your enemy at the point where he doesn't expect. And this is what John Johnson is doing. He wants to make Thomas Aspinall wait. He wants to make Thomas Aspinall wait and lose kind of that motivation, so that when he fights him, there's a possibility that he's going to lose Thomas Aspinall. But I don't believe this is the case for Thomas Aspinall, because if you watch Thomas Aspinall, he has been absolutely devastating. He has been defeating his opponent in the first to second round. He has never, ever gotten to 5 round, Thomas Aspinall. And this is the fight we all have been waiting for. This is the fight most of the UFC fans will die, will spend their last money to go and watch, only for John Jones to come out and say he has to wait 6 months. So when we are talking of 6 months, let's say the contract has been signed now. So we're talking of October, November time. That's a long time. And this will be certainly almost 1 to 2 years since we saw Thomas Aspinall fight. So if you're in Thomas Aspinall's shoe, what are you going to do? What is the UFC? What are the UFC going to do? And now, do you understand why the father of Thomas Aspinall came out the other day and said, John Jones should vacate the title? This is not fair for not just Thomas Aspinall. This is not fair for the UFC fans. We all want to watch John Jones fight as soon as June, April, or May. This is the time John Jones has to defend that belt. Because we all watched his last fight. He didn't come out with any injury. He's just doing this based on to make Thomas Aspinall lose kind of motivation. What do you think about that statement of Thomas Aspinall's father? Do you think that it is right for John Jones to vacate the belt? Or do you think that Thomas Aspinall has to be patient to fight John Jones 6 months after this contract is signed? And I don't know if the contract is signed, because as UFC, if the contract has been signed and it's been official, we are going to see it in the UFC page. But at the moment, it's not been shown. And John Jones is trying to tell us that for him to fight that guy, he has to wait 6 months after the contract has been signed. So as we speak now, the contract is not signed. And this might go for 1, 2, 3 months. We don't want to see another Conor McGregor and Chandler situation. And I feel for Thomas Aspinall. And if I were the UFC, and this is what John Jones is claiming, he has to vacate the belt. I know they want to have the greatest of all time in their UFC, in their industry. It brings a lot of eye, it brings a lot of money, it brings a lot of marketing. But Thomas Aspinall as well brings a lot of marketing. Because his fight is always entertaining. There's always a knockout in his fight. There's always a finish. But you can't just compare him to the greatest of all time. So it leaves us in a very, very confused state. And I kind of understand the father. If John Jones wants to wait 6 months, definitely he has to vacate the belt. And we the UFC fans, we are not ready for that. We are not ready for that. So guys, you remember that there's a UFC Fight Night this week. It's a fight week and it's happening in London in the O2 Arena. I'm just going to go brief into this because these two main events are really, really massive. I mean, superb. Let's go to the main event first and foremost. Leon Edwards is fighting against Sean Brady. This is a big fight, a massive fight. These are two top level fighters, most especially Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards just lost his fight against the current champion Belal Muhammad. I mean, that fight was I don't know what happened to Leon Edwards at that moment. Imagine Leon Edwards coming out of it, two impressive fights against probably the greatest of all time in the welterweight division, Kamaru Usman. Defeated him, knocked him out in the last minute, and dominated him in the second fight in London. And faced Belal Muhammad and lost the whole 5 round. Belal dominated him from the start to finish. And here you see Leon Edwards coming out for revenge because he felt like he was off that night against a dangerous opponent who has never lost a fight. And two of them, what they have in common is they lost a fight against the current champion. So Sean Brady, who is the opponent of Leon Edwards, have not lost a fight for a long time. His only loss was against the current champion. So these two people are going to clash. It's going to be an interesting fight. I'm really looking forward to this fight because I think in England, the fans bring it all. The noise is going to be there. I know they are going to be in favor of Leon Edwards, who is their boy. But you guys should not sleep on Sean Brady, man. He's coming for the gold. He's coming to kill. He wants to be the UFC welterweight champion. And I don't see him looking lost in this fight because this fight is going to be interesting. And if Leon Edwards think that thing that happened against Belal Muhammad is going to happen in this fight, I see that fight not getting to 5 rounds. Somebody is getting KO'd. This is why this fight is interesting because I think this fight is going to be 5-round war. And I think this fight won't get to the 5th round. If it does, who knows? I don't know who's going to win because these two are in a very good run at the moment. They are, like I told you, the only thing they have is a loss to the current champion. So one of them has to take this. So it all depends. It all goes down to who wants it most. And who wants it most is going to come out victorious, knowing fully well that Belal Muhammad is going to defend his title very soon. Let's go to the co-main event, which is happening in the light heavyweight division. Jan Blachowicz against Carlos Ulberg. This is the fight I'm looking forward to. This is a big fight. A big fight. If you people don't know who Carlos Ulberg is, watch this Saturday fight. That guy is amazing. Remember, he's from City Kickboxing. Same kickboxing as Israel the last Stylebender. And Jan Blachowicz, who is a massive light heavyweight, who has already given the current champion and Boatan a tough time. This Jan Blachowicz has given Ankalaev, who is the current champion, and Alex Boatan, who was the ex-former champion, the current biggest superstar in the UFC at the moment, he gave two of them the hardest fight. And Carlos Ulberg, in the other hand, has already been knocking out his opponent. So this is it's like two trains clashing each other. We want to see when, and I don't see this fight entering into 5 rounds. But Jan Blachowicz is a fighter who can actually take a fight to that place. Who can actually take a knockout artist into a 5-round fight. And I see this fight being a firework because these two people has knockout power. I see Carlos Ulberg the more hungrier. Although we watched the Jan Blachowicz interview the other day and said he wants to get back to the title. So which made this fight really, really interesting. I think the clash in London, the fight card is massive. There are a lot of really, really massive fight card. Kevin Holland is there. A lot of them are there. So guys, tune in this Saturday. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hot. I'm going to be watching live from home. Unfortunately, I can't go there. I live a little bit far from London, from England. So I have things to do here. So I'm going to be live. I'm going to watch it at home. And I'm going to be excited because this one is going to be banger. Guys, let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about Jon Jones waiting for 6 months after he signed the contract to fight Tom Aspinall. And let me know what you think about the comment of Tom Aspinall's father and also the fight week this weekend. Guys, this channel is yours. I appreciate the love you guys are showing to me. If you enjoyed this channel, please subscribe to it. It helps this channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and of course, let's see what you think about the video down in the comments below. I appreciate your love. Until next time, peace.